Now, doing the Mandarin collar or Chinese, we got our collar here, 2 pieces. One piece we placed the interlining and glued that on the back side. Now we're going to sample these 2. And where it's supposed to be sewn is around here, the upper edge. Now, because it's a curve, I only have 1/2 centimetre of seam allowance to assure that I get a nice curve. Otherwise, sometimes I can have too much seam allowance and that can complicate things. So, sewing all the way around 1/2 centimetre. So now we've got it like that, and to assure again a fantastic finish, we cut away a little bit in the rounding because otherwise it's going to fold inside. Now it's possible to turn right side out, and we've got our collar ready. All we need is to iron it. You see now it's ironed and we got our collar like that. Now, because of the way I'm going to finish this collar and sew it on, I'm going to do the top stitches, because here I got my front and back sewn together at the shoulder, but I put a facing all in one with the front piece, so I got to have my collar in between of these layers. Because I'm doing that, I'm going to do my top stitches right now. Now you see there is the one with the fusing and the one without. The one without is the one that's supposed to be seen, and all top stitches are supposed to be done from the right side. I do that in a distance of 2 mm from the edge. Now that's done. Now I'm going to place my collar. First of all, I find the center bag. It's here. You could as well have done it before with a notch, and then you find the center bag of your collar as well, and then you start placing your collar. Now this one here, remember the one without the interlining is the outside, so I'm going to place it like this at the right side of my top here. I'm going to place it in line, and now when we come to the front, there is a couple of notches. This one is where it's folded, the other one is center front to where my collar goes. So I place it, and of course what is important is that there is no folding that's not nice afterwards. So you see, now I placed it. Now is the small trick to make a nice finish is to turn it around and remove your pins so the collar is between of layers. And this is to the shoulder, only to the shoulder. And I still got a pin in here. I need to make sure all the pins are gone, so I won't make trouble with my machine. So you see, now it's the collar is in between of layers. Now sew this part to the shoulder. Here I got 1 centimeter of seam allowance. And again, make sure you're not doing any foldings at the bottom layer. Got to make sure it looks nice in the end. When I come nearby the shoulder, I'm going to stop 1 centimeter from the edge, because that's where my original shoulder is. Now you see, if I turn this, I got my collar in between of layers, and I got a nice look of it. You see, so that's a way to do it. Now I'm just going to do the other side as well, just the same. What did I do? I placed my collar at notch number 2, because the first one was the folding one. Place it, and then place my collar in line, so it's in line with the neckline, like this, and make sure no foldings. Then I fold it the other way around, so I get the possibility of placing it in between of layers. It's to the shoulder, and again make sure you got it in line. That's important. So you see, now I got it like that, and I can check the back side. Is there any foldings? Now I'm sewing it from, because it's turned this way, I'm sewing it 1 centimeter and starting up 1 centimeter from the edge, from the shoulder, and sewing all the way. Now you see, when I turn this, it's just as nice as the other one, and no folding at all. Now what we need doing now is do the back of the neck. Here I got my bag. This is done in 2 operations because we don't want the seam to be seen. So I open up, and now it's necessary to sew from the first or the last stitch to the last stitch here, so it really has to be accurate as anything else. So I'm just sewing this part, I'm opening up, sewing from here, and all the way. Again, make sure you don't do any foldings in the lower part, because that's not this style. So as you can see, I'm keep arranging the bottom of this because that helps a lot. So you see, now I got my collar attached to the neckline. Now I would like to have this folded so I won't see the seam, but I'll have a problem right here because the layers are going in each direction. So because of that, I open up, take my scissor and make a notch, not in this one, just in the collar and the neckline, to that last stitch to make sure I can fold it properly. As close as possible. The same about the other one. Cutting in here. And now I have the possibility of folding in the right way. So I'm going to fold this, put my seam up into the collar, and then folding my seam allowance. Of course, you've got to make sure you're not doing any strange foldings here. It still has to be separated properly. Put in the loose threads as well. And you see, this is the back of the collar. And you'll see now we got that and it's covered. Now I'm going to stitch it all the way here. Just 2 millimeter from the edge. And as you might see, now we've got a super nice collar. Sometimes you'll have the feeling that it's not perfect around here. Before you finish off, open up, make some notches at the curve because that's going to help you enormously. Now my scissor is not as good as it should be, but let's see as if we can make it work. And then we got a proper shape. So what we've done now is we make our Chinese collar or Mandarin collar. There is just one thing left, that's here. This one, we don't want it to be like that. So I place it in the edge of this shoulder and turn it right, and now I'm going to attach it by sewing in the shadow of the seam because then it's not seen from the front. And now we've got it, you see it's just attached here, and here is the finished collar. So as you can see, it's nicely made, and we got the front here and the collar, and it's, as you might see, it is hidden, so we got a nice inside as well. Did you like what you just seen, and do you want to learn more? Then subscribe. I'll constantly develop and upload new things, all based upon the professional way of sewing. All the best from me, and good luck with your work.